happy to have you watch or roll together or whatever. Anytime I have a sleeve grip, that foot is coming in. Very, very common.
What's that position called?
Piles, open guard function. It's just same
Style guard.
same side sleeve foot on the hip. There's nothing offensive about it. I can't sweep from that. It's not a playable guard. It's a transition connection point.
That makes perfect sense.
That comes to everything.
If you know about planes, you know that yeah, specific longitudinal and latitudinal coordinates that are named positions,
Yep.
where they send people off from the east, from North America to Europe. It's like you're on this journey from here. You've hit East Lansing, whatever, Bravo Point. That's it.
Yeah.
See you on the other side.
Yeah. You go from violet to tapioca
Yeah.
to kilo, and you're just like bink, 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 bink.
Done.
Full order. Yeah. It's a great analogy. This is one of them. There's flexibility in it, in that I can be square, I can be on one hip. I prefer to be on the same side as the bottom foot because it's protected by the ground. But the flexibility comes from positioning, elbow positioning, other hand position. But as long as we keep that constant tension, we have control of the movement. I can't think of a pass that is effective when the opponent's foot stays in your hip. There's some point of that resting part that causes the ability to remove it.
Is the same for Nogi? You got a wrist and a hip.
Yeah, it's.
Well, where do you put the other hand then? That's the question. The same hand, the same wrist?
Because anytime we're one hand, one wrist, this is the weakest point. So you're looking to create momentum and rip through them. If it's a shoulder pull or whatever, you're looking to just find wherever the thumb hole is. If I'm here, I take my weakest point and put the strongest point in.
Yeah.
Right. In Nogi, this is a really good question. It's less about maintenance of space and more about exploitation of space. I want to have this as a pauser so I can then come in and get to where I want to be with whatever other grips are available. Be with the power of the grips. It's more maintenance than that.
When the time comes up, maybe we'll move to alternating. But I'm just curious because I'm a curious person. Yeah, that's fine.
This is what we're doing. We're learning how we work together. Fantastic. Let's start with you down, me up, and let's just 6% intensity move the world around. Excellent. This foot can do a lot of different things. The shin can come in, you can grow to a one-legged spider. As long as there's tension through that left quad, we are in a good spot.
So here, I'm trying to keep this as tight as possible.
Yes.
And push once flat.
Yes. Forces are going in opposite.
Touching that.
Right. Any extra force you can create by pulling your elbow back should be similar to any extra force you make kicking my hip over. We have so much more force down here. The big piece, in my opinion, transitioning white belt to blue belt is learning how to trust the power in your legs. It's just, we're so innately in tune with the power of our arms. But you could put 400 pounds on your hips, and as long as you've got the right cushioning, get it off the ground. So here, the bicep curl is not really the power punch, it's the quad push.
Am I trying to get this far away from you? Or
Just trying to, you should be able to separate the two pieces without separating completely. Because this has to do work, so you can't be a mile away. So what we can do, if we need more room, is to move, we control where our hips are, move our hips back. Now, your elbow stays right where it is, and the pressure increases. Or pull it in, and be more in the power band of this quad. So now you're kicking it more powerfully than you left. Where we just work, if we needed to hold that for 5 minutes, we could. Elbow to hip, push on the leg. Elbow to hip is always strong. Give me a push. We could live here for a bit. If you relax and just you feel the tension. And I want you to feel all the different information points that you're getting. That's why both hands have to be work. Your knee is on my side. If I'm going to do something crazy, sometimes you can feel my core tense. And that anticipation comes from all those connections. I'm not saying you just hug people and wait for things to happen, but it's free information, so we want it. And you make the next step more difficult by always taking this one. That's huge. A term I use a lot is big boy jiu-jitsu. If I get to put you in my category, we have to think of problems differently. If you were 80 pounds less, some of these lesson points would be different. A lot of times the lighter person wants access to space so they can use their flexibility and timing and speed to move throughout space. A lot of times in big boy jiu-jitsu, we want the opposite. We want to take momentum out of the equation. And the slack concept is a huge piece of it. We want to be able to slow our opponent down so that we can move at our pace. That's, in my opinion, the highest level of jiu-jitsu control. Slack and tension is such a huge piece of it. If I'm rolling with Shai or Anthony or Giovanni, I can't let them be up here. I have to be, so I can feel what they're doing, so as it moves, I can slow it down and control it and know it and anticipate it. Am I making sense? Slack and tension and having all the tools doing work at the same time for all those pieces. Let's play around a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, I didn't do gi for the first 6 months. And I didn't do a mix.
You run away and find a way to strip it. We should probably change. So what can we change?
And then I would just after my first 6 months where I got comfortable.
Go to half guard. You could go to half guard. You could go to De La Hiva. You could go to lasso. You could take this foot, and now you're center mass again. So it's different, but what you accomplish is the same. You have distance maintenance with the foot over the top. So now we can find something for this hand to do. Sleeve's a great option because now we can unwind this. We can unwind this one because now this is the one doing the work. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So now we're here. If I do strip this and I'm passing, boom, hands are in between you and I. We trust our feet to do the work. Touch, you're still pushing until you get center mass. If you pull me, you're pulling me into a pass. In this moment, you gotta keep pushing. Both hands should be out until we get that left foot touching me. Now our head pulls away, and now we're on offense. Right away.
Okay. That's
You're
good.
laughing because
It makes sense. It's like, oh, it's clicking.
that's the mock. And as soon as we feel it, we transition to offense and start attacking the other. What I want to avoid is you feeling like, oh, okay, I got that to go. Excellent.
Yeah.
As soon as you feel that switch happen, now I'm pulling it. We're going to just continue to attack.
Got it.
Excellent. Very great to hear. Shai, what time do you have?
5:49.
Thank you. Are you staying for the 6 o'clock class?
Yeah.
Yes. The 5 o'clock time slot is both great and difficult. It's great because you get to combine it. This is office hours versus laboratory.
Yeah.
And it's fresh and you get to run right into it. It's difficult because a lot of times you end up being shortcut. It's tough for the kids to get out of here. I had a lesson before, but just in general, that kids class turns it. So the choice is yours. The 5 o'clock time slot turns into a 55-minute slot, but you get to come in. Yeah.
Sorry about this morning. I apologize.
Good. Oh, we didn't talk about that first. Excellent. Always have flexibility. In general, my rule is 24 hours.
Very reasonable.
And as long as we understand the expectation,
Yeah.
I will move heaven and earth to never cancel.
Yeah. I will never, I mean, it's not it's really worth repeating or going through, but it's not going to happen again. I screwed up and then something changed. I should have told you 2 days ago. Anyways, my fault. I apologize. Thank you for being understanding.
Always.
And that's a very reasonable rule.
Yeah. And as long as there's mutual respect,
You'll see it. I used to tutor too, so I understand how it works.
And so I'm so glad to hear that, because I know you know that there are times when a change can end up being mutually beneficial. When we both recognize it, we'll make a change with no problem.
I think going forward, this is a good time. Not that I can do it every week, but I'm gonna try and come in weekly for you, with you.
It's nice that I teach the Thursday 6 p.m. as well.
And I like your Thursday 6 p.m.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we have similar learning styles, or at least mental movement styles. So I think this double up is going to help.
Yeah.
Great. I want to practice some more, just some random open guard to close guard.
Yeah.
I want you to find it, that hip movement, the latch, and come back into close. So we're just going to leave and enter close guard a couple times. So let's start from, just to make it weird, butterfly. So if you sit up, excellent. Now we start moving. What's the next piece? This feels great. You're in, you connect, and that's how we get to close guard. If you exit,
The good ones that taste good are, and they have baked ones that don't taste good.
and can you come back to butterfly? This one goes first. Excellent. If you come back to foot on hip, and this one's out here, I want this one to drop in first, and now the other one drops in. You'll always have room here. But if something goes wrong, you still have this connection. Of course.
She left before me.
But that's what we wanted, right?
Things come in.
She left before
This is just such a spacer that really, the thing I'm describing is minuscule, and very rarely are you going to get exploited here, but this is a playable position. I can't exploit it, and you should be able to have room to now push off this one and drop your left in. If the pressure is here, if we can replace it to here, this one can drop in. Yeah, we're just keeping my hips actively tensioned. Perfect. Whereas, if you drop them in at the same time, there's some flexibility. Whenever possible, we want to remove it. So butterfly all the way to close. This rip is excellent. You're doing a really good job staying in the mindset. And this is breaking my posture every time because of the tension. Let's switch sides. Here, same drill. Here. You want to be sitting up at the same time. It's a posture difference. But in butterfly, you want to have your chin over your hips if possible.
I don't know much about butterfly.
Excellent. We just learned piece number one.
Yeah.
If I get to pin you flat, it's very similar to half guard. If I pin you flat, you're not playing butterfly or half, you're watching the hips. Huge piece. So here, you need to connect with grips and slide, use these pushers to slide your hips slightly back and keep your chin over your hips. This is it. This is
Half or both?
just more forward.
Not like
You can be, but as soon as you get here, it's too easy for me to win this and come inside. Excellent. So now we come back. First step.
Hold on. Don't tell me. Over here.
Excellent. I think I could describe any guard, and we could go from closed to the intermediate piece. But you know what? If you want to ascribe a name to it, we can get the Kyle guard.
The Kyle
The Kyle key, the Kyle connection.
connection out down. It's good.
You get to that Kyle connection, you could go to any guard and then remove it, put it back in, and go all the way to close. Without giving me a running head start towards the pass. That's why I like it. So, quick recap. If we go sit, there are three basic grip breaks. If I'm here, feet clamp, elbows together, glob on, perfect. And now wherever we go, we go. Anytime I have a collar grip, excellent. Judo style, it's missing. Excellent. And you are flaring your right elbow up. I promise you're stronger here.
I'm just trying. I think my head's easier to push it together this way, but I was just saying.
Yeah. test that. One grip we can never allow whenever we're on bottom is double pan. And we just harvest it. If you need it, it's there. A lot of times you don't. Completely. It's a strong grip.
So am I trying to get this as deep as possible, or does that
I want to go wrist watch to wrist watch. I want you to be comfortable on your wrist, but the end of the lever is the strongest. Best case scenario is you lean forward enough where you pin it to your chest, and now you get the next piece. This is not a good, it's not a forever piece, but it's a good slowdown. If I can pin this, if you grab me, if I can pin it up high, sorry, I'm sorry. But here, I get to take the next piece, and it prevents you from just letting go and then grabbing again. You see this coming, you're like, oh, cool. That doesn't help anything. What's up, man?
Can I train at 6?
Yeah!
I just moved here.
Nice. Drop your shoes off. I'm just finishing a lesson. We're going to get you all set up.
Thank you.
Oh, Shai.
I got it.
Great. You were in the middle of something. I apologize.
You did this one? You showed me another one with the...
Yeah.
We didn't really do it.
So if we're playing a bigger open guard, so if you put feet on hips and double sleeves, but I get a grip, we want to create as most space as possible. So we're going to roll onto this hip, pull your knees to your nose, and now your elbow pulls, and now trust the power of your right. Yeah. We want to trust the power of our left. So often we try to use, if you re-grab, your right bicep to pull this free. Just never do it. Pull your knee to your nose, taking the slack out, and you kick free. I'm not going to be able to pull out of that. If you kick this in space, I'm not going to be able to pull this. But a lot of times we don't have the ability to move this much. A lot of times we're in the phone booth is the term I use a lot. We just need to be able to keep everything in front of us.
Because we're just in this height, in this small...
Yeah. If we're here, you leaving everything to pop our grip is not as effective. For closed guard, hands always doing work. We want to, when we shrimp, have our knees touching. It's free information. And then that Kyle connection of sleeve, same side, foot on the hip, always taking all the slack out. Having the other hand do work allows us to transition to any guard we want and access the moves we want to on our terms. And then the Frankensteinian light switch game of you'll feel it and you'll recognize it. But when we're playing guard recovery, we should be pushing. And really we shouldn't be pushing, but we're framing in an outward manner as our legs and hips do. I'm not bench pressing you here. I'm trying to keep you where you are as I move the rest of the world around. As soon as I get a foot back to center mass, I will find that I'm pulling. And I recognize the change and immediately start attacking. Awesome. I think that's the lesson. Thank you. And I'm glad you're staying. What's up, man? Cash is by far the best for me, if that's okay with you. $150 per session. If you pay 3 pack, the price drops to $50. I don't think I have a bigger pack deal. Yeah. If you wanted to do a 3 pack and didn't have the money today, we could pay next time. I'm very comfortable. Card makes my life more difficult. If you could do it next week, I'm way more comfortable than that than the other option. Okay? Thanks, man.
Is your schedule online, or do you just set it yourself?
My personal schedule belongs to me. So we just text and we'll block time off.
It's just easier for me to get someone not in the place or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty responsive to text. The only time I'm not is when I'm physically on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be that urgent ever.
We'll get there. Cool. Everyone on the same thing.
Yeah,
Great.
awesome. All right.
Right, fellas, let's get started. What's up, dude? How are you?